I just dropped $815 on this massive LEGO Star Wars minifigures and sets bundle. Over 100 figs in here, rare, vintage, some legit valuable ones mixed in. We'll go through all of them one by one to see how much they're worth and how good this bundle actually is. Let's find out what's inside. Kicking things off, we got 3 used sets today, so let's get straight into it. First up, we have Darth Vader's castle from 2019, and since it only comes with a build, it's worth $71. But Vader's castle is just one of those iconic builds that any Star Wars collector would love to have on the shelf. A really cool and unique set. Next is the Inquisitor Transport Scythe from 2022, missing its minifigures, so it's worth $35. Even then, the Scythe is just such a striking and unique ship design. A really great pickup for any Obi-Wan Kenobi series fan. And rounding things out is the Coruscant Guard gunship from 2023, also worth $71 since it's missing its minifigures. The gunship alone is solid. At that price, it's still a pretty reasonable deal for what you're getting. Now let's move on to the minifigures, and there are a lot of them today, so let's just get straight into it. For our first minifigure, we have Princess Leia in her iconic white dress going for $20. She comes from the 20th anniversary Slave 1 from 2019, and this is a really clean, classic version of Leia that any Star Wars collector would love to have. Up next is Han Solo with the 20th anniversary torso. This one is from the 20th anniversary Imperial dropship from 2019, and it is a great affordable pickup for fans of the anniversary line. Our next one is Darth Maul, who's exclusive to the 2013 Mandalorian speeder and goes for $22. Those mechanical legs are what really make this version stand out. A really cool and unique take on the character. Moving on, we have another Darth Maul from the Clone Wars. This version appeared in 2 sets and is a much more recent and affordable way to get a great looking Maul in your collection. Our next minifigure is Ahsoka Tano in the dark blue jumpsuit. She appeared in 2 sets, and this is just a really solid version of adult Ahsoka. A must have for Clone Wars and Mandalorian fans alike. Coming in next is Phase 2 Captain Rex, valued at $8. At that price, Rex is honestly a fantastic deal. He appeared in 2 sets. This version is the cheapest out of all Rex minifigures. The next one is Darth Maul again, worth $11. This one comes from the Sith Infiltrator from 2015, and the cape really adds a lot of presence to this version. A great display piece. Up next, the Imperial Shadow Trooper going for $13, and this one is from the same set as the Han Solo minifigure we had earlier. Fun fact, LEGO released it 10 years after the first Shadow Trooper. Moving on, we have the 212 Attack Battalion Airborne Trooper, which usually goes for $54, but since it has the wrong Kama cloth color, it's worth $34. This minifigure comes from the General Grievous's Starfighter from 2020. That price tag reflects just how sought after this trooper really is. A standout piece for any Clone Wars collection. Our next minifigures are 2 Kashyyyk battle droids. These ones appeared in 3 sets and are a really fun background piece. Great for filling out a Kashyyyk themed display. Coming in next is one of LEGO's best Anakin Skywalker minifigure, worth $18. This one only appeared in the Duel on Mustafar from 2020, and those battle-worn details just add so much to the figure. The next one is Obi-Wan Kenobi, also from the Duel on Mustafar, as well as the 2020 General Grievous's Starfighter, and it pairs perfectly with that Anakin figure.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Now Luke Skywalker in pilot suit. This one appeared in 2 sets and is just a timeless classic. Every collection needs a pilot, Luke. Moving on, we have Luke Skywalker in his pilot uniform with the 20th anniversary torso, which comes exclusively in Anakin's Pod Racer from 2019. That anniversary torso printing makes it highly collectible. Up next is AC-10, worth $11. This minifigure appeared in 2 sets and is honestly one of the most underrated Jedi Council members to get a minifigure. Great pickup for prequel fans. Our next minifigure is Obi-Wan Kenobi, exclusive to the 2013 BARC speeder with sidecar, and it is a clean and affordable version of one of the most iconic Jedi. Coming in next are 3 Dark Troopers. They appeared in 2 sets, and that imposing design with the breastplate armor translate really well into minifigure form. A must-have for Mandalorian collectors. Next is Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, which only appeared in the Dark Trooper Attack from 2022, and the hooded look gives this version a really mysterious feel. Next is the First Order TIE Fighter pilot, which appeared in the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter from 2015. This one is slightly more expensive compared to the slightly different version. Now the OG Han Solo in Carbonite. This one appeared in many sets and is just an absolute classic piece of Star Wars history. Up next is Baby Yoda. He appeared in many sets, and who doesn't like Grogu? Our next minifigure is the Mandalorian. He appeared in 2 sets, and this earlier version of Mando is a really great one to have, especially as the character's armor has developed so much since. Coming in next is the Phase 2 327 Star Core Clone Trooper. This one appeared in 2 sets, and that yellow marking really sets this trooper apart from the standard variant. LEGO hadn't released one since 2007, so I'm very happy that we finally get to have some of these guys with the modern LEGO look. The next one is the Mandalorian with a jetpack. He appeared in 2 sets, and the jetpack detail on this version just adds a lot of great display value, not to mention the printed arms. Moving on, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
This one comes from General Grievous's wheel bike from 2014, and those printed legs really make this version feel complete. I've always liked that version of Obi-Wan. Now the Phase 2 501st Legion clone trooper. We got 3 of these guys and they appeared in 2 sets from 2020. The 501st clones are some of the best clones out there. Their blue design is just immaculate. Up next is the Phase 2 501st Legion clone jet trooper. This one also comes from the 2020 501st Legion clone troopers battle pack, and that helmet design is just really sharp looking. Our next minifigure is the Mandalorian. He appeared in 3 sets, and this is one of the cheapest versions of Mando. Next are 2 Imperial Stormtroopers, which go for $5 each and appeared in 5 sets. You can't get enough of those. We even have a 3rd one, so that'll give us a small army. Coming in next is the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. This minifigure appeared in 2 sets from 2024 and is a solid and easy to find modern clone. Great for army building. Next are 2 Phase 2 Clone Shock Troopers. These ones appeared in 5 sets, and that red and white colorway is just really striking. Definitely one of my favorite clone designs. Moving on, we have a Super Battle Droid. This one appeared in many sets and is honestly just a great filler piece for any separatist display. Now this one's interesting. A big pile of battle droids. These droids are so common yet a timeless classic. You can never have too many battle droids. We got 11 of these guys right here. 2 incomplete EVA 4D with stickers. These ones come from General Grievous's Starfighter from 2010, and I'm surprised to see 2 of them in the same bundle as their exclusives. Hopefully we can find General Grievous. Our next minifigure are 3 Commando droids, which appeared in 3 sets, and it took another 11 years to get a new variant on the market. I really like these guys with their vibro cutlers and very cool combat style. Coming in next are 2 Jawas, each appearing in 2 to 3 sets and worth $9 each. Jawas are just always a welcome addition to any Tatooine display, and I really like the prints on those guys. The next one is Forlum, which appeared in 2 sets and is one of those bounty hunters that just never gets old. Moving on, we have R5D8, also known as R5D4, going for $10. He appeared in 2 sets, and that red and white pattern is really clean. This minifigure is called R5D8 in the X-Wing Starfighter, but is referred to as R5D4 in the Sandcrawler set. Now R2D2 with a light bluish gray head. He appeared in many sets, and honestly, what's a Star Wars collection without an R2D2? Next is the same character, but this version is quite an improvement from the last. Our next minifigure is the OG Brown Chewbacca, which appeared in 3 sets and is just one of those timeless figures that every collection needs. Coming in next is a First Order Officer, Lieutenant, or Captain. This one comes from the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter from 2015 and is a solid background character for any sequel era display. The next one is Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. This minifigure appeared in 5 sets and is just a really great and affordable version of Jedi Master Luke. Moving on, we have Cara Dune, which appeared in 2 sets and is a really fun character to have, especially for Mandalorian fans. Up next is a Claytonian Raider. This one comes from the ATST Raider from 2019. That spiked shoulder pad is pretty cool. Up next is Paz Vizsla. This minifigure comes from the Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon battle set from 2024, and that heavy infantry Mandalorian look is just really impressive in minifigure form. Our next minifigure is Barriss Offee. This one comes from the Geonosian canon from 2012 and is a really underrated Clone Wars character that does not get nearly enough attention. Coming in next is the Imperial Royal Guard, which appeared in 2 sets. I wonder if we'll find the Emperor in this bundle so that the Royal Guard can serve its purpose. The next one is Zangar, who came out in 2 sets. It's one of those classic bounty hunters that always gets overlooked, but is really detailed. He's missing his backpack, but luckily none of the pieces are expensive. Moving on, we have a Hoth Rebel Trooper. This one comes from the Defense of Hoth blister pack from 2022 and is a great troop builder for any Hoth scene. Also from the same set is another Hoth Rebel Trooper. This minifigure fits perfectly alongside the female trooper version. And closing out this bag is C-3PO, which appeared in many sets. Those printed legs are just a really nice detail that a lot of people overlook. Now let's move on to the next bag. Our next minifigure is General Grievous, going for $39.
General Kenobi!
And that one won't stop increasing in value. This version appeared in 3 sets, and that price reflects just how popular and sought after Grievous really is. Coming in next is Phase 2 Commander Fox, valued at $33. This one comes from the Coruscant Guard gunship from 2023, one of the most hated clones. If you know, you know. The next one is Chancellor Palpatine, going for $19, which also comes from the same set. This is just a really unique version of Palpatine that hadn't been done ever before by LEGO. From the same set, we have Padme Amidala going for $13. A really elegant and well-detailed minifigure, much better than the original Clone Wars variant. Now Darth Vader in Bacta Tank worth $29. This version is exclusive to Darth Vader's castle from 2019. This version of Vader is genuinely one of the most unique takes on the character LEGO has ever done, and the details are really impressive. I don't think we could have asked for more. Up next is Reva, the 3rd sister Inquisitor, who goes for $12. This one comes from the Inquisitor Transport side from 2022. This minifigure is a great addition for Obi-Wan Kenobi series fans. Also from the same set is the Grenadier Grand Inquisitor going for $20. This one has great details, but I do prefer the 2015 version from Rebels. Coming in from the same set is the Imperial Inquisitor 5th brother. This minifigure goes for $18. It pairs really nicely with the other two Inquisitors. The next one is Zuckuss going for $46. This one only appeared in the 20th anniversary Slave 1 from 2019. Zuckuss is just one of those bounty hunters with a very unique LEGO design. A really sought after figure. Next is our second copy of this Darth Maul worth $22, and I'm surprised to see two of them in the same bundle as their exclusive. From the same set, we also have two Mandalorian Super Commandos. The one with Previously head goes for $15 and the other goes for $13. Now the OG Luke Skywalker Dagobah variant, usually worth $95, is worth $32 since it's missing its backpack. This one appeared in two sets. Up next is Chirrut Imwe, worth $16. This one comes from the Imperial Assault Hover Tank from 2016 and is a fan favorite character from Rogue One. Let's not forget his legendary line.
I went with the Force, the Force is with me.
Our next minifigure is Qui-Gon Jinn with Poncho going for $41. This one comes from the 2015 Sith Infiltrator. That poncho detail is what really sets this version apart from the other ones. Coming in next is Jack 14 with a clone helmet going for $39. This minifigure is exclusive to Jack 14's Stealth Starfighter from 2013. LEGO really gave their best when it comes to the details of that minifigure. The head and treads like blue arm are just fantastic. Also from the same set is the Phase 2 Special Forces Clone Trooper worth $41. One of the most unique looking Clone Trooper LEGO has ever released, and is once again a highly detailed minifigure. Moving on, we have the Bounty Hunter going for $17, which appeared from the same set. Once again, this one is a great minifigure, and it's pretty obvious that LEGO put in a lot of effort into Yoda Chronicles minifigures. Now Darth Malak going for $35. This one comes from the 2024 R2-D2 set. It's a beautifully detailed minifigure, especially with that headpiece and that metal prosthesis cover. It's such a fan favorite from the Knights of the Old Republic era. On next is the R4G0 worth $12. Now with this minifigure, in addition to all three of the earlier ones, we now completed the minifigures from the Jack 14 Stealth Starfighter from 2013. Our next minifigure is Ben Kenobi. This one comes from the Inquisitor Transport Scythe, and the poncho on this version of Kenobi is really well done. And wrapping things up, we have two Boba Fett minifigures in bluish grays from 2006. Both are in different conditions since one has slightly faded paint compared to the other. One is priced at $39 while the other goes for $41. And there we go, every single minifigure and set from this $815 bundle. Some solid pickups, a few rare finds, a couple that genuinely surprised me. Let me know in the comments which one stood out. If you're into this stuff, like and subscribe, and if you're still in the mood to watch more LEGO Star Wars unboxings, click this video right here and I'll see you there.